Alrighty, let's begin. My name is Mabel Zamora, and this is my lesson plan template I created with my co-teachers. There are some things that we need to go over, reflect, and maybe add or change some things, but we did finish most of it, or all of it. Where we chose to do grade level 3, and it's going to be history. The questions we were asked to answer. And here I have our content standard. So it's 3.4. Students understand the role of rules and laws in our daily lives and the basic structure of the U.S. government. As we say, underlined, understand, this is the verb, the level of cognition in this standard. And then over here, the ending is the product, the noun, what the kids are going to learn and take away with them. Some barriers my co-teachers and I came up with is that it's going to be a diversity of students. They're going to come from different backgrounds. Some students are going to have some knowledge of this already. Some students, it's going to be new information for them. The solution, we came up with was introduce the ideals of other countries' governments, state the importance of the following laws, rules, and benefits, and there were no statements. For their learning objective, it's 3.4.3. So students will demonstrate their understanding of the history of important local and national landmark symbols and essential documents, so it's more specific. I underlined demonstrate because that is one of the levels of Bloom's that we want to apply. We want the students to demonstrate their understanding. Here we have a barrier. So according to the policy map for the school we chose, students struggle being socioeconomically disadvantaged. So what us teachers came up with as a solution is provide students with the materials needed while giving them class time to finish their work. For the level of Bloom's applied in this learning objective, we did understand, identify, analyze, and remember. So for the barriers is our students may struggle with staying focused if there was an overabundance of information given to them. Nowadays, students have really short attention spans. Even I could relate to this though. The solution my co-teachers and I came up with is provide time for the students to talk to each other to better understand the assignment at hand. So this leads us to our co-teaching model use. So taking that into consideration, we're going to do two models. We're going to do one teaching, one observing, and station teaching. We want to do one teaching, one observing first, and not for too long of a time because we want the students to make sure they grasp the information, have a little brain break, and then when they'll continue on with the station teaching where they go around in groups, and each table is going to have a different information, and they're going to have a certain amount of time to be at each table. For the barrier for the co-teaching model we came up with, students come from different backgrounds and cultures. Some students learn better with different co-teaching models, which is true. And then the solution is instead of teaching with just one co-teaching model, we chose to do two co-teaching models in our lesson plan. We move on to evidence of mastery assessment. We wrote down students will take a survey/quiz to test knowledge of the study material. They will also be giving a little presentation to their class and their peers. So two types of assessments we have here. For the barriers, we came up with some students will get test anxiety with the quiz. Some of the students are also bilingual, 6 out of 24, and might feel shy or uncomfortable presenting to the class. So for the solution, create a safe environment is important for all students to feel comfortable when presenting to each other. And then for the test anxiety, we won't make it a long test, just simple quiz, see if they grasp the information. No trying to trick them. I know some teachers with their test. The questions are so tricky. So make sure the survey/quiz, it's not a big of a deal. We're gonna call it a quiz, not a test. And then I actually left a comment for this one. I wrote down, My first language was Spanish, and in my first years of elementary school, I felt so shy and nervous to present in front of the class because I had an accent. I am sure some of the students in our class will be related to this, so that's why we do two options, presentation and a quiz. We are going to move down to the evaluation. Students will return to their original seats and complete a quiz/survey independently. So we are going to have the quiz survey be independently so we could test each student's knowledge, see if they were able to remember the information, and then with the presentation they present, we're going to see if they were able to demonstrate. And then last but not least, we have our closing sentences and then what the students learned. After each student give their presentations, they will return to their seats. And as a class, we're going to have a discussion and review some of the things that they learned in their lessons. We will most likely take volunteers to discuss, and we will go on from there.